Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hasbyah Aini. I will present about my thesis proposal seminar. The title is The Effectiveness of Using Storytelling Technique on Student Speaking Skill to the Second Grade Student of Majapahit-UNIM-PBING. This overview, Chapter 1 Introduction, Chapter 2 Literature Review, and Chapter 3 Research Methodology. Chapter 1 Introduction. Background of the study. Why speaking skill? According to Hornby, that the speaking is the skill that the student will be judged up almost in real life situation. It is an important part of everyday interaction, and most often the first impression of a person is based on his or her ability to speak fluently and comprehensively. The next, why storytelling? The student always thinks speaking English is hard work and not enjoyable, so that when the teachers ask them for practicing speaking in the class, they do not brave enough to speak up, especially in front to the class. Sometimes they also feel anxious and less confident about their speaking, pronunciation, or grammar. To cope with the problems, one of recommended techniques is storytelling. This technique is very enjoyable, fun, and makes the student more active in the learning process. Therefore, the researcher conducted research to find out whether using storytelling in teaching speaking can improve student speaking ability. The next, definition of key term, teaching. Teaching is showing or helping someone to learn how to do something, giving instruction, guiding in the study of something, providing with knowledge, causing to know or understand. And speaking skill are the skills that give us the ability to communicate effectively. The skill allow the speaker to convey his message in a passionate, thoughtful, and confiding manner. And storytelling, according to Rahayu, storytelling is the effective activities to tell something that tells about actual deeds, experience, or event, as well as fictitious result. And then problem statement. How is the effect of the use of the storytelling technique to improve student speaking at the second grade of Man 1 Mojokerto in the academic year of 2022 until 2023? How is the result of the use of storytelling technique to improve student speaking at the second grade of Man 1 Kota Mojokerto in the academic 2022 until 2023? Objective of the study, to finding out the effectiveness of storytelling to improve the student speaking ability at the second grade of Man 1 Kota Mojokerto, and to identifying the improvement of student speaking ability at the second grade of Man 1 Mojokerto. The last, significance of the study for teacher, for student, and for the researcher. For teacher, the result of this study is expect would make the teacher use storytelling technique in teaching speaking in order to make the classroom more attractive. For student, hopefully, the using of storytelling technique in teaching and learning speaking can give the student a lot of opportunities to be creative and brave in their speaking performance. And for other researchers, the writer hopes this study can be reference to other researchers who want to study about the storytelling technique to enhance student English skill. Chapter 2 Literature Review. Number 1, definition of speaking. According to Brown, speaking is an interactive process of constructing that involves producing and receiving information. Its forms and meaning are dependent on the context in which it occurs, including the participant themselves, their collective experience, the physical environment, and the purpose for speaking. It is often spontaneous, open-ended, and evolving. And number 2, concept of speaking. Number 3, the element component of speaking skill. Number 4, principle of teaching speaking. Number 5, assessment of speaking. Point B, teaching speaking skill. According to Noonan and Burkhardt and Shepard, argue that success in learning a language is measured in terms of the ability to carry out a conversation in the target language. In addition, speaking can support other language skills. Recent research has considered oral interaction as an important factor in the shaping of the learner's loving language. For instance, it was proved that learning speaking can help the development of reading competence, the development of writing, as well as the development of listening skill. And next, see definition of storytelling. According to Ellis and Brewster, storytelling technique can motivate students to develop positive attitude towards the foreign language and language learning. In every story, there will be a more message can be taken, whether it's negative or positive. If it's negative, teacher must tell the student not to copy, but it's the positive, teacher must tell the student to do so. And point D, storytelling as speaking activity. And point E, previous study. Cap for previous study skill. For the previous study, number 1, my professor will use storytelling to increase speaking skill, but the research by Zelvia Damayanti use daily conversation. For method, for the previous study number 2, in this research, the writer used pre-experimental study, but I will use quasi-experimental. Chapter 3, Research Design. In this research, the design used is quantitative design, and the method requires a pretest and posttest for a treated and comparison group. Therefore, the researcher uses quasi-experimental research design. There are 2 classes which are taken as the sample of the study. One class is the experimental group, and the other class is control group. The experimental group gets some treatments about speaking and narrative text through video record. In the contrary, the control group does not get the treatment about speaking narrative text through video record. The control group is taught by conventional teaching from the teacher. The research steps in the experimental group are pre-test, treatment, post-test. The pre-test explores the student's speaking skill before they get the treatments. The post-test is given to the students after they get the treatments. And point B, subject of the research. The subject of this research are the students of Islamic Senior High School or MAN 1 Kota Mojokerto, especially second grade in the academic year 2022 until 2023. I chose this school because I was an alumni of MAN 1 Mojokerto, and from what I have studied there, most of them are not confident in speaking English. Point C, population and sample. Population. The population in this research is the student at second grade of MAN 1 Kota Mojokerto. It consists of 6 students and divided into 2 classes. For example, the sample in this research was taken to class of second grade with 60 students, and class A as experiment class and class B as control class. It is amount of each classes or 30 students. It have class control and class experiment. And the next, the procedure of research: A, post-test, and B, pre-test. The next, the technique of data collection. The data collection technique are observation and test, which includes pre-test and post-test. The researcher is helped by the teacher to observe during the process of teaching and learning at experimental group, while the research implements video record teach speaking. And the next, research variable. Storytelling use of video record as the independent variable and narrative text as the dependent variable. The next point, technique of analyzing data. A, qualitative approach. Qualitative approach collect and summarize data using primarily narrative or verbal methods: observation, interview, and document analysis. Quantitative approach summarizes data using numbers. Hypotheses and methods of data collection are created before the research begins. thank you so much for your attention. I think enough for this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.